Stage replay in arcade mode. Okay, so I cleared the area and now I can replay this stage. Stage replay and arcade mode are now available in the hideaways of Redstone. Enter the virtual battlescape for details on each of the new options. Okay, interesting. Yeah, so I cleared that stage, I guess. So I wonder if the game is just a whole bunch of these kinds of levels. If so, and it's like a whole lot more linear, then hey, that's great for me. I'm tired of things like Assassin's Creed Odyssey where I spend like forever dicking around, running around the world. I'd like to just have like these clear cut, go to that level, clear, go to this level, clear, go to this level, clear, and have like these challenges I'm overcoming one by one. Like the industry is so focused on like open world stuff nowadays, and I'm getting like such open world burnout. I want just present me challenge after challenge after challenge. Give me back my linear stuff. So if this game is like that, then hell yeah. Yeah, it really was in that game. So yeah, I'm actually genuinely having a lot of fun with this game so far, but I do need to wrap up the night. Can I open my menu? Can I not? Whoa, that's a screenshot. Can I save or something like that? There are some areas that are really big like Xenoblade. Okay, so there'll be some cool stuff to explore, but it being linear is actually really exciting. I had no idea what the world was going to look like hopping into this game. I knew basically nothing about this game hopping into this game. Like, the only things I knew was that there was main characters of Clive and Sid. Clive is Ifrit that he summons or is the dominant for. I needed to remember the term for a hot second there. I think that's everything I really knew about this game going into it. But yeah, go to the main menu to save. You can't go to the main menu in the map. That's dumb. Well, maybe I can go here and then I'll save here, I guess. So I may as well do, and I can check stuff in the shop. That's what I can do here before I wrap things up. It's currently 2:45 in the morning, so yeah, I think that's where I wrap up the story stuff. But yeah, I think Assassin's Creed Odyssey has been like the biggest offender lately when it comes to me getting so tired of like a never-ending open world game that feels like it's taking forever because I'm just dicking around in the map doing whatever the heck. And the game putting like so much extra padding in there of, oh, go do these things for this person before they tell you the information that actually lets you progress, and then you gotta do all this stuff for this person and take out these guys, and it just takes like forever. Like, I think if I recall, the Assassin's Creed Odyssey series is currently at 244 parts, and I'm like halfway through the final big DLC. And currently, the longest single playthrough game that I've done on the channel is Persona 5 Royal at 265 parts. The longest series I have of any game is Three Houses at 305 parts, but that's 4 playthroughs. So the longest single playthrough I've done was Persona 5 Royal at 265 parts. And Assassin's Creed Odyssey at this point, I have no doubt is going to pass 265 and take the crown for the new longest one. I don't think it's gonna pass 300. I sure hope it doesn't pass 300. Like, because I am getting so dang tired of that game. The fact that I've been playing it since January 1st of this year, and I'm still not done with it. Like, oh my god, I just want it to end. But it is just one of those, like, massive open world maps where the game just sends you all over the place doing, like, so many quests to progress the main plot line, like, really slowly. And I'm just getting really, really tired of it, and I can't wait for it to be done. And knowing nothing about this game going into it, I honestly thought at first, like, it might be some open world game where I have to run around the map to get to the next story objective. Like, oh, I complete this story objective over here. Now go across the entire world to go, oh, well, there's a cheap viewers dudo that I have to ban. That one actually appeared on screen. A lot of them have been hidden on screen lately. I don't know why that one appeared on screen. But I worried at first, like, maybe this game would turn out to be one of those ones where it's like, here's a vast open world that you need to run across, and you'll be fighting who knows how many random enemies along the way, and traversing who knows how many tricky environments to get to the next story objective and all that. That just makes it longer and longer. I was worried it might be one of those, but the fact that it's looking like this is going to be like a pretty linear game of just go clear this area, go clear this area, go clear this area, where each of them is like a stage, a level that you complete, and then you go here and like you can replay any of the previous levels. Like, it's one of those kinds of linear things. That actually makes me like excited and hyped and like, whoa, it's another one of those games, not another one of these open world like thingamabobs. It's gonna take like forever. Heck yeah, that genuinely makes me hype. I know that a lot of people really, really like open world and that have hopped on the open world bandwagon. And I kind of was like that at first, but like many years ago when open world was getting its next big wave, like the Breath of the Wild wave of open world craziness. Like there have been several big open world pushes or games that create a new wave of hype for open world games before. Like Skyrim was another one that created like a lot of open world hype and people like, oh, let's get more open world games like this. I think that we're still kind of riding off of the coattails of like the Breath of the Wild open world hype from 2017 is what I think it still is. And I've played so many open world games at this point that it's like, just give me my linear adventures of just going right from point A to point B, especially in a level-based game like this, where if it's open world, you're probably going to be expected to be gaining levels by doing a whole bunch of random side crap along the way. But if it's a linear like this, and it's just one challenge to another, then chances are, like, the level expectation is probably just whatever level you end up being at by the point that you're at by just focusing on the story. Probably. I don't know that for sure, but I assume that that's probably what's going to be balanced around, rather than expecting me to take like extra time for grinding by engaging with all the random other stuff that's available out in the open world. Like, of course, it seems like there are side objectives here too, since there's side quests and stuff, but yeah, it just being levels that I clear, like levels with bosses at the end that I clear, and then that area is done, the level's cleared, and then I move on to the next one. I'm excited for that. I am excited for that. And then, like, after spending 20 hours over the past 3 days doing Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom start to finish, and that being a game where there basically was no combat, it was basically just dodge simulator while I send out summons to fight for me and use AI to fight my battles, and barely getting the chance to actually engage in combat myself. Especially during, like, the final stretch, where your one temporary means that you can use during bosses to actually be able to fight back is taken away from you and you have to fully rely on AI. It was so frustrating. So now going immediately from that I beat earlier today, well, yesterday because it's after midnight technically, but earlier today in terms of when I've been awake, to a game that is like super heavy combat action based and is also linear. It's like, oh my god, this is right what the doctor ordered for me. Like, after getting sick of my relying on AI sickness from playing that game straight, and my open world sickness from just so many of the games I've been playing around here lately, and coming down with the sickness of these thingerbobs, it's like this game is the perfect prescription for what the doctor ordered for like what I've been feeling around here lately. Like, again, I had no idea what to expect going into this game because I knew nothing about it. It's just that game that Guzma asked that I play along with my my PS5 here, and I was like, sure, I'll play it when I get the chance. But now actually playing it and it being like the perfect polar opposite to so many things I've been playing lately, it's like, oh my god, that's such a breath of fresh air. Because so many things I've been playing lately are just so samey. And this is so different to the other stuff that I've been playing lately. And it makes me really excited. But yeah, let's see here. We're on mod view, you missed it, the thingamabob there. It reminds me of another open world game you played that was similar to that. Immortals Phoenix Rising, I think it was. Yeah, Ubisoft, like Breath of the Wild like game and stuff. But yeah, let's see here. God damn it, Scarlet and Violet. Yeah, that's definitely one of the open world. I was about to say aggressors. That's not the right term. Culprits is one of the terms there. But yeah, that's a complaint some people have with this game. Actually, surprisingly enough, the game being linear, which you thought was a stupid complaint. There's pros and cons to like both open world and linear. Like, you can go with either or in a game. Like, there's upsides to doing both and downsides to doing both. And I've been doing like so much open world crap around here lately that to have like a clear-cut linear kind of action game is honestly a breath of fresh air. When was the last time that I played a linear action game? Let's see here. Let me look on my thingamabob, because it's probably been a hot second. Like, the last one that I can think of for sure is Astral Chain in, like, 2019. But there's gotta be one before that point. When was the last time that I played a linear action game? Let's see here. Metroid I don't think would count. That's pretty open worldy. Apparently Metroid Prime 3 is pretty linear from what I hear, and I'll play that in November. When was the last time that I played a linear action game? Because it's been a while, and I'm only as of playing this game realizing that I had a hankering for it. Welcome on back, Reggie Bump. I'm gonna wrap up the stream here soon, but I'm just rambling about how I'm hyped to be finally playing a linear action game for the first time in a while. So when was the last time that I did that? Like, I don't think I'd count this. Like, I'm gonna count linear here, linear action game, as in you go clear a level, that gets done, go back to a hub, go clear another stage, another level. That's done, like that kind of linear. So, when was the last time I did that? Would this count? This is a roguelike that I did in co-op with Anima. Maybe Myth Force would count towards that, because you just go clear levels, but it's also random, so it's not like a handcrafted exact level with like an exact challenge that the devs had in mind, like this is with Final Fantasy. Like, since it's roguelike and things are random and the abilities you get along the way are random, so I don't think I'd count that. Yeah, open world. Open-ish. I don't know if you count Metal Gear Solid as open world, but again, I'm gonna classify linear in this case as you have levels to clear one after another. Maybe Last of Us? Would that count there? Maybe? Because that is linear, and you have levels to clear, essentially. Like, you clear one area, and then you get to the next, and the story advances. Like, that probably counts, so that's probably the most recent one. And in my discussions of hardest difficulties during Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, I was talking about this one a decent bit, how it's like one of my favorite ways to handle hardest difficulties because it fundamentally changes how you play the game. So yeah, that was probably the last one. Oh yeah, I guess Kirby would count there. Yeah. Like, so, there's Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe. That's there. But yeah, I think the last one is probably Last of Us, and that's not really this kind of style of fighting, where it's like you're getting in enemies' faces and fighting that way. This is more like stealth-based, plus ranged combat based with occasional melee attacks is what it is. But yeah, that's probably like the last linear action game that I played. And then I guess you could say like Kirby games would fall under that. But for the most part, I don't really play a whole lot of linear action games. Like that definitely doesn't count as linear, I don't think. Like there's a linear story. Whoa. I appreciate the band there. Guzma of the bot. I love me some Snake's Revenge. This would count, I guess, but it's like a 2D kind of game. These ones, I really didn't like them. And you don't have to do mod view. You just have to do, this. The, show moderation actions. Just this toggle. You don't actually have to go to, like, mod view. I haven't been in mod view in, like, forever. Or this show mod icons. If you just have those on, then you have, like, these little buttons right next to people where you can just, like, quickly delete message, warn, timeout, or ban. So... okay, mod view isn't that bad, though. I don't remember the last time that I saw it, so I won't remember here. I guess Splatoon's single-player mode kind of counts as, like, a linear action game. But the most akin thing to Final Fantasy here that I'm playing would probably be, like, Nier Automata and Nier Replicant. In terms of, like, the style of combat. But those are both, like, very open maps where you do have to run across the world to get to the next objective. So gameplay-wise, that in terms of combat, that's probably the closest thing that I've played. And in terms of like progression, the closest thing would probably be Astral Chain, because Astral Chain is another action game where you basically just go from level to level and return to a hub in the middle. Like, when was Astral Chain? I'm pretty sure that was a 2019 playthrough that I did. Oh, that was a 2020 playthrough, but it released in 2019. That's why I had 2019 on the mind. I remember it came out in 2019 and it didn't really get that much of my attention, but people kept saying that it was like an awesome, amazing game, and I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. And I think I asked people around the channel, like, is that something you'd like to see? And people were like, yeah, do it. And I was like, okay, I'll give it a go because I have time. And I definitely don't regret doing it. I love this game. This rocked. In terms of overall gameplay experience, this is probably the closest game that I've played, where it's like an action game being right in the enemy's faces, where you have like melee and ranged options that are both pretty equally strong, and it's a linear thing where you basically go from one level to another, clearing the challenges along the way. This is probably the closest game I've played to Final Fantasy 16 here, and I loved Astral Chain. That was really fun. And now having something that's like that, where there's like really fast-paced, flashy, cool combat, and it's linear, of just going from one thing to another, instead of feeling like I'm dicking around doing who knows what in the open world for who knows how long before I actually make meaningful progress. It makes me excited. Like, I'm really, really glad now that this is the thing added as, whoops, I turned on webcam 2. I wanted to go to display capture 2 here. That's what I wanted to. I can just pull up the thing that I actually wanted to pull up here first so I can alt tab onto it. I'm really glad that this is added as like my new kind of main go-to game. Because again, this is like, as long as I get it done by November, I'm good. So I'm not really in a rush. So I just want to do this, like, whenever I have, like, big life story updates to share, because Assassin's Creed is the longest ongoing series on the channel in general, because I started in, what, like, 2019, 2020 with Assassin's Creed 1. So, like, it's been ongoing, that whole series, for a long time. And that's one of the ones that I do in order, unlike Final Fantasy here. So, I'll just start Valhalla January 1st of next year, so I'm in no rush. And because of how long it's been ongoing, I like to share life updates, what's going on in my life, because I'd like to rewatch my Assassin's Creed series one day, and be like, oh yeah, that was going on around that time. Because my Assassin's Creed series has encompassed, like, such a wide span of my life. This is a little bit jarring to look at. Here, let's block that so it's less jarring. So I want to spread this out across when I have, like, more life stuff to share, because I'm in no rush, as long as I get it done before I start Valhalla next year. So, I'm spreading that out for that reason. And then this one is, like, the more I spread it out, the longer I take between sessions, the more chance I have to grind, and then the easier the game gets. And I've learned that Merciless in this can get, like, pretty brutal at times, so I definitely don't mind doing that. Like, not just doing Persona 3 stream after Persona 3 stream after Persona 3 stream and just going ham on it, and not getting the chance to grind. So I want to spread it out because of that. So I needed to add, like, a new game that's, like, my go-to regular thing when one of my spaced out things isn't, like, currently available. Either I don't have any new cool updates to share in this, or I'm not ready in, like, my grinding yet in this. I wanted to have a new go-to thing, and that was Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, and then I went and, like, beat it immediately in the opening weekend. And now having this as, like, my go-to thing, I feel like I'm honestly gonna have a lot of fun with it. We do have some other new releases coming up, like, next month. So, like, 3 weeks away here is going to be the new Mario Party, but that's probably not going to take me very long. And after I do, like, the main single-player content, I'll probably just turn into, like, one of those games that I play occasionally when I have friends to play it with, is what it'll probably turn into, where it just goes on from time to time. Like, I could, maybe if I wanted to take a break from pinball at the next 24-hour Cherry stream, if I am there with, like, my cousin's older kiddo, then maybe just play a game with him or something like that. That might be kind of fun. I'd probably for sure try to get a game of it going during HalloLAN. Is what I probably want to do. Maybe see if any of the frag people I know want to come play Mario Party with me over at HalloLAN. That'd be fun. And then these will be some long games. Longer. That come out sometime later. Like this one especially, most likely. But this probably isn't going to be too time consuming. It'll be an occasional thing. This will be very time consuming, but is going to be one of those games that is just one of those things that I play when I feel like it. It's not like there's a story to get through and a main objective to beat. Like, I think that this will probably be, like, a really good, I play it from time to time game that I just have on the schedule for, like, the next year after it comes out. And then whenever I feel like playing some Planet Coaster, I do that. And this will be, like, a good medium-length kind of game. And that's basically it for, like, the new releases here. And then I'll do, like, Metroid Prime 3 during this event. And then during this event, I'll do Metroid Prime Pinball. So I'm getting through that. So, like, I pretty much had space to add, like, a new major thing onto the schedule. And I'm honestly glad it's this, because I am genuinely having fun with it so far. Like, the biggest roadblock right now is just getting, like, the buttons through my thick skull. Like, I know them, but in the heat of the moment, I forget them and do muscle memory for other games that I'm used to. So, once I start getting muscle memory for playing this specific game, then I feel like stuff is going to start really flowing. I really like how flashy the combat is. Like, it's fun and satisfying. And while the quick time events aren't really a challenge at all, they're just an excuse for, like, mid-battle cinematics that are so cool and clean, and it's cool. I'm really liking this game so far, and now I'm really excited to play more of it. I saw somebody here just suggested it because you had an incredible time with it, and we both love some really good RPGs. Oh yeah, I do love me some really good RPGs. And in terms of playing, like, Final Fantasy games on the channel, I'm definitely not regretting starting with this so far. I do think that if I do end up enjoying this, like, the next one that I go to is Final Fantasy VII, which, again, like, is gonna, well, I say again as if I mentioned it before, but I don't think I mentioned this before. Gameplay-wise, I know is extremely different, because I've played it before. I played, like, 10 hours of Final Fantasy VII. That I know I mentioned at the beginning of the stream. And that is an extremely different gameplay system to this, but I want to experience that for, like, the story and the music and, like, the big, impactful kind of stuff, and we'll see how well I deal with the gameplay with that. It's not actually turn-based. It's a real-time thing where it's like people's action bars charge up and then they get to move. Well, I guess that's still technically a weird form of turn-based. It's like real-time turn-based. It's weird. So yeah, there's that. And then the remake of Final Fantasy VII is like the action-based thing as well. But yeah, I figured Final Fantasy XVI was a game you shouldn't miss because of how much the game has going for it. Yeah, I'm enjoying this so far. Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth is extremely similar to it too, I believe. I believe so. I've seen smidges of people playing it. And my co-commentator at Fragapalooza 2021 was showing me a decent bit of the gameplay while I wasn't streaming, like late at night, just him playing on his PS5. Where it's like, it's action-based and you're doing action things, but occasionally you go into like the slow-mo and select like your spells and arts and stuff from your menu or whatever the heck there. That's the only pinball game you've played is Metroid Prime Pinball? Or no, that's, you're responding to Guzma's thing. The last pinball game you played was Pokemon Pinball featuring Ruby and Sapphire. That being the game that Reggie Bubs played. Gotcha, gotcha. You're kind of like the middle ground that Mario RPGs take, where you have turn-based combat, but still have to input actions for offensive and defensive turns. Yeah, that's something that I really like. It's not every Mario RPG. Like, I don't know if in the first Paper Mario, there was something that you could do while the enemy's acting. In Paper Mario the 1000-Year Door, you can guard, at least. But I really like the Mario and Luigi kind of thing where you can counter. Like, that's really fun there. And that's one of the reasons why I really like the gameplay of Undertale, too. So it's not just turn-based back and forth, like, I do an attack, the enemy doesn't attack. I do an attack, the enemy doesn't attack. And I just have to, like, sit there and, like, eat it. And then do my strategy based around that. I mean, that could be really fun for, like, strategy-based, turn-based games like that. But if I want to feel like it's kind of a turn-based game, but it's also action-like, the Mario and Luigi games are really good for that. Because it feels like a typical turn-based game, but with action elements where, like, my skill genuinely matters. And I'm really looking forward to Mario and Luigi Brothership. Like, finally, 9 years after the last new Mario and Luigi game, so not counting the remakes, so the last new one being Paper Jam in 2015. 9 years later, finally new Mario and Luigi game. I'm really looking forward to that this November. That should be really fun. This game is more serious and badass, while Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Remake has a lot of funny shit and fan service in it, while also talking about serious subjects every now and then. What, like, checking into your homies for mental health, as we found out from the Zelda Echoes of Wisdom stream? For context here, anybody watching this series, was it, I think it was yesterday during the Echoes of Wisdom stream, that Guzma brought to my attention that apparently there was a commercial for something about, like, checking in with your friends about their mental health and seeing if they're okay. But the ad is done completely with Final Fantasy VII Remake or Rebirth, or just the remake series there footage, where it's like, you should check in with your friends sometimes to see if they're doing okay. And then one of the characters is like, Cloud, are you okay? And then it shows, like, the characters of Final Fantasy VII, like, being all buddy-buddy and happy and stuff, and it was so weird. It was so goofy, like, such serious subject matter, but made so goofy due to the fact that it's being advertised using Final Fantasy VII. Like, what? But yeah, let's see here. Like, you get to see Cloud dressed up as a girl and go to a strip club, you believe? That was one of the segments I actually got to, like, when I was playing it on my phone all those years ago. I got up to just shortly after that, and then it was shortly after that that I stopped playing. And, like, maybe I just didn't have the time or wasn't super engaged or something like that. I don't know. But I remember playing that segment many years ago in early high school or late junior high or whenever it was that I played it. I don't remember. It was supposed to be sweet and wholesome, but the message came off a little strange. Yeah, understandably so for the way that they told it. Yeah, I played that. Unless you're spying Reggie Bumps. Hate to draw a sense of age, but Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon is almost 9 years old by itself. Go on by USA release at least, as some countries got in 2016. I don't want to think about that. Makes me feel old. I'll accept side quests and then I'll wrap up this stream probably.
And dare I hope, a willing pair of hands.
Here, if this is gonna be its own part, then I don't know what else I'm gonna use for a thumbnail, so just have this off for these, even though I probably normally won't because it's not that important of cutscenes. But I'll turn it off here just because I literally don't know what I'm gonna use for thumbnails in this little rambly end of stream part anyway. Oh, and it shows the reward right there. Oh, will keep the fat chocobo running? I don't see why not.
I don't see why not.
Marvelous.
Wow, a game where the thing that I select is actually what the character says.
Clive.
That doesn't seem to happen much with games I've been playing anymore.
Acquaintance, Clive. I'm Kenneth, and mine are the weary shoulders upon
Like,
which
Assassin's
the
Creed
weight of
Odyssey has been like a really bad culprit of that, I found lately.
Now, I have 3 hungry customers awaiting their victuals. Take these if you will.
I guess I'll take these right now.
They're hot.
Like, I remember playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey recently, where, sure, prioritize quest, where this one guy asked me to go, like, kill some guys for him, because he wanted to, like, win over the love of this person that he was simping for, and I was like, whoa, this is a bit too far, and I had the options of, like, yes, do it for him, or, like, no, this is too far, or something like that. Something that seemed really tame, where it was gonna like criticize and be critical of him. And I selected that option where it's like, no, I'm not doing this quest for you. Like, I'm not part of this. Or I think one was like, yes, accept the quest, and one was like, no, don't accept the quest. And I selected no, don't accept the quest, like I'm not doing this. And then my character goes and stands up to him and is like, you think doing this is gonna make her love you? She's manipulating you. She will never love you. And just like getting like really in his face, and that pissed him off. And then he turned into a boss battle because I didn't accept his quest. It's like, that's not the option I selected. There's so many games where they really don't have the characters say or do the option that you select. So I was kind of surprised there to select the option and hear Clive say the exact thing that I selected. It's kind of surprising now, huh?
I was hoping it might be. Well, doesn't this look fine? Thank you, lad.
Yeah, these cutscenes look kind of robotic-y, don't they?
Kenneth's running you ragged already, I expect. The old rascal.
Well, he did say he'd give me something for my trouble.
I don't have any waiters around
So you
here.
should. We're not slaves anymore. Well met, lad. And keep up the good work.
Yeah, so we all have these marks all been freed there. I recommend doing all the quests here. Here. Might not turn off my camera for all of them. I probably got a good thumbnail shot by now.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be this stream, but they're all just generally worth doing.
Oh,
Yeah, tomorrow. Well, today.
thanks.
There's an event going on where there's apparently going to be a whole bunch of rescue doggos that you can meet.
Served like a lord.
I wouldn't mind going to that. Checking that out, and then going to my homeless place and harvesting all the tomatoes. I wonder if it's about time to harvest the crab apples on our tree as well. If I even decide to harvest them. Like, I made crab apple muffins last year, and they were really good, but they take a decent bit of work. Because the crab apples are, like, super tiny. And so they're hard to work with.
And a mighty fine one at that.
Okay, so this gives, like, some context of, like, the overall atmosphere here by doing these quests. Trust me, just don't want to spoil too much. Well, it seems to help with, like, the world building here of seeing what life is like for some of these dudos. Whoa! I can't just tap it, I have to hold it. Very big book, huh?
Well. There's so much more to farming than just seeds and soil.
Yeah, I've been learning grafting this year. I've been combining multiple plants into one.
Just a moment.
Tomorrow,
need to
I might
finish
pull up
this.
my tomatoes.
I won't be a burden.
For anyone that isn't aware. I
No use to
grafted
anyone
together
else, but maybe
tomatoes and potatoes.
I can
So these
master
plants
this.
were tomatoes above ground and potatoes underground. So you get, like,
You eat it
both
before I
tomatoes
get
and
cold.
potatoes on one plant.
Of course.
And I've harvested all the tomatoes, but the plants are still planted. They're still in the ground.
That's
So-
the last one.
Maybe tomorrow I might pull them up from the ground and see how many potatoes I get. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. So yeah, there is a whole lot more to gardening, agriculture, and seeds, or whatever the heck he said. Quick complete. After completing the objective of some quest, you may be given the option to quick travel to the quest final destination. That's handy. More games should have that. If you see a prompt in the lower right-hand corner of the screen, hold down... Which one is that? That's the burger one, right? So that's the right one. To immediately travel to the NPC eagerly awaiting your return. Of course, this option is not mandatory, and you're free to ignore it. It can also be completely disabled via the game settings on the system tab in the main menu.
Better let Kenneth know.
Well, that's handy. So I hold the button. Yeah, and then it just brings me to the place where I can, like, immediately finish the quest. That's cool. I like that. That's a nice feature.
All
Nah,
done,
just
I presume?
regular potatoes.
Splendid.
Well, regular as in, they're called red apple potatoes,
All three of them.
is the varieties I use for my
Slaves
tomatoes.
waiting upon their
So
masters'
rather
pleasure,
than
but
being like the typical golden brownish color of potatoes, they have red skin
Indeed,
instead.
Equality is the very
And they taste pretty good. I like them.
cornerstone on which our little
Like, I've been growing them for
community's
several
founded.
years now, which is why I decided to use them for my tomato
Beyond
experiments.
these walls, we are scorned as slaves.
So,
Speaking only when
not
spoken
sweet
to,
potato, but
eating
still
only
not
what
completely
scraps our
regular
masters
either.
deign to give us.
but regular
The
tasting,
first hot meal here
mostly.
is the first many will have known. In the hideaway, we are free.
Mhm.
Truly free to speak as we
depends on
please,
how many
when
there
we
are.
please, and to eat what and when we desire. More than reason enough to trust in Sid's vision, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Now, I promised you something for your trouble, did I not? The contents of my strongbox are yours to do with as you will.
I don't think I have, no.
Do come and visit me again, won't you?
Can't say I have. Yeah, will do. Quest complete. Because from what I learned on the internet about tomato plants is if you have just a pure tomato plant, it takes a lot of energy to make those tomato fruits. And on a pure potato plant, it takes a lot of energy to make potato tubers. And now you have one singular plant that's in charge of making both tomato fruit above ground and potato tubers underground. So because of that, the internet told me to expect yields to be less. But in terms of the tomato yield, I do think that it was lesser than my pure tomato plants, but not by a lot. Like, it was still like a very significant yield I was getting from my tomato plants. So I don't know if I should take that as an indication that there's probably not going to be that many potatoes underground. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll find out tomorrow. Maybe next time I stream this game, I'll have an update on that front. Countless treasure coffers lie across the realm, just waiting to be plundered. If you find one, don't hesitate to kick it open with X and reap the bounty. Go on, no one's looking. Well, that guy's looking this time, but he told me to do it. Badge of metal, what's that? I do also think I have some new things that I can do there. Oh, and I can check, like, Torgal there. Here in icons. So, whoops, I'm hitting the wrong bumpers. I need to hit those ones. No wonder I wasn't shifting the way I wanted to. Increase defense by 10, and there's that attack by 7 that I got before. And then, yeah, defense by 10, and that's all my accessories that I have now, apart from, like, the ones that are just, like, extra crutches. So I don't need those. I'll use my other accessories. Yeah, so boost my strength and my defense. Don't think I have any other things here. Yeah. Yeah, okay, I'm good now. And then you all the way on the top right is where you'd be able to save it. Oh, I completely forgot that's why I initially came here. Yeah, I gotcha. I gotcha. Maybe I'll accept quests first. I mean, if I accept them, then I might feel obligated to just go and do them quickly. I don't know. Look at the water and stuff. And the reflections. Very nice. What's going on over here? And yeah, the menu in general just seems really visually satisfying, honestly.
We'll be needing more wood.
Okay, so he's just gonna need me to, like, deliver him wood that I collect from somewhere. Most likely, right?
Ah, you there. Perfect timing.
Are you a Senator Armstrong wannabe? Are you true Aryan Senator Armstrong?
Oh, thank you. You'll be helping me and the hideaway both. Takes a lot of work to keep this place.
Turn the camera back to him, so yeah.
More than we can manage.
Totally is. Blonde hair, blue eyes, Aryan Senator Armstrong is what he is.
The fallen knew their craft, make no mistake, but not even their handiwork lasts forever. That's why the walls need shoring up. Can't have the vegetable patch crushed before our first harvest now, can we?
Yep, it's Senator Armstrong if he was part of the true Aryan race.
Alright, where can I find this wood?
That isn't gonna get, like, any flags put on this content, is it? Saying stuff like that?
I really
I hope.
appreciate the help.
Quest accepted. Okay. Dying. Don't look at his pants. Look at his muscles. Speak with the carpenter at the White Adze? I guess I can do that quickly. I suppose I can do that quickly here, why not?
Escape their masters in the Imperial capital.
Whoa, and the way that my, the directional audio, I wasn't sure what it was called for a hot second. But the directional audio is pretty cool.
Excuse me.
Arrested before you also get arrested by association.
Over by the garden.
Look at his pants up, make you gay. Yeah, and most definitely not gay. So look at his scrumptious muscles instead. Like a straight man would do.
Thank you.
No, not at all. We appreciate the assistance.
Yeah, these cutscenes are kind of robotic-y, but like, who really cares? They're just for like random side quests and stuff. It doesn't really matter. All the actual story cutscenes are like beautiful and amazing.
I get this too.
Yeah, see, you get me. Alright, so over this way. Squeezy! Wait, so hold down circle. Nope, that's not running. I think that increases my speed. Yeah, I think when you suggested that, you might have just been thinking of Elden Ring. Guzma, most likely.
Oh, you're back. Hope fetching
I
that
think.
wood wasn't
It'd be
too
that one and not square, right? I think. I played Elden Ring not all that long ago. I should know this. Here, wooden planks. His trousers are alright on screen. It's too late. It's too late. We're all gay now.
This will do nicely, thank you. With a bit of luck, the
I
walls
looked.
won't be falling
You can
in
see
on
that I
us
looked.
just yet.
That sounds ominous.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Oh, it's not as bad as all that. And it's
Like,
a
the
damn sight
battles are
better
basically
than the
just as
alternative.
flashy as the
We're safe,
cutscenes.
we're warm,
And the
we
battles
can
are like half
what
cutscenes
we're
sometimes,
for.
especially that kind of one.
Now stop fretting and
really
take
cool.
this. You've earned it. Welcome to the fold.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
There's no need to.
That's not a matter of need, my friend. You're one of us now.
Yeah, so it does kind of help set the atmosphere and Clive's perspective to it, and the other people's perspective here and how they are. Oh, are those ability points? Do I have a whole lot? Are these side quests giving me ability points? Wait a hot second here. Abilities. Whoa. If I go across all the things, because I haven't been across all these tabs yet. Main menu items. The items tab contains lists of all non-gear items currently in Clive's possession, including those used in quests. Consumable items such as potions can be used at any time from this tab. Okay, but I can also just use them out in the world from like my buttons there. Oh, but I can change the shortcuts, I guess? Items can be assigned to shortcuts for quick access during gameplay. Select an item from the consumables list and press square to bring up the shortcut menu. After confirming the button it is to be assigned to, press X to confirm the decision. Okay, so I can set them as whatever I want there. Increase defense by 30% for 90 seconds. Increase attack bar by 10% for 60 seconds. Okay, so I currently have the Stone Skin Tonic that I just haven't used yet because I didn't know what it was. Now I get you. I wonder if I can restock on potions while I'm here at the hub. Might not be a bad idea. Those materials, curiosities, key items. Okay. But yeah, let's see here. No, we were talking earlier about the anxiety thing and stuff too, but Clive Rossfield does indeed have that too. He has a lot of it. Yeah, it seems kind of like a lot of self-doubt too. Yeah, I feel like after the whole situation with his brother, he's not exactly feeling all that great. I'm probably wondering what the heck happened there. Main menu journal. The journal tab contains information on story progress, as well as all current and completed side quests. Like, even if he doesn't realize that, like, Ifrit is a part of himself, and, like, that part of himself was kind of let go and resulted in what happened with his brother, or maybe it's like an alter ego, maybe it's like Persona of a Persona game. Anyway, even though he doesn't know exactly what happened with his brother and doesn't realize that there might be some sort of self-blame, he does still harbor self-blame just because he was supposed to be Joshua's shield and wasn't there to protect him. So even if he doesn't realize exactly what happens, he knows that he wasn't able to save Joshua and therefore has, like, self-doubt that way and that he failed his brother. So, yeah, the journal tab contains information on main story progress as well as all current and completed side quests. Okay, cool. So, this is all the main scenario progress. Okay, so yeah, I get to see, like, the ones I've gone through. Complete side quests. Okay. And there's the map. No little tooltip coming up over this. So can I just... Oh, wow, I can just immediately from here, so I don't actually need to exit the cave. That's handy. I like that. Yeah, so I think I've gone through all the tabs now. I like how the camera's kind of spinning here across the different things. Like, that's interesting. Like, journal at the back. Is it always gonna be, like, the same looks here? So yeah, attributes and you see his face. And back to the back. It's interesting. Interesting here. Yeah, I have been getting a bunch of ability points. So I can power this up. I can power up my Phoenix Shift, and that's something that I'm always going to be using, so I may as well. As opposed to things I might be using sometimes and sometimes not. Because maybe I'd want that one on instead. Or like this one eventually. As for these things, yeah, these are really cheap, so I can learn them at any time. Yeah, I want to master the current controls first before I add complexity. Because if I add this now, I'm going to forget that's ever a thing. And then never use it. And then I'm never going to go through these again and get reminded that it's a thing that exists. So, I need to get it through my head, the current controls. Like, the current controls aren't very complicated. Like, I know them, but in the heat of the moment, I don't always know them. So, yeah, this game does seem pretty cool. So, like, I'll wait on that. I'll wait on these. Just one thing at a time. One thing at a time, and I'll, yeah, this does seem like something that could be handy as well. So, swiftly close it and attack a distant enemy. Okay, I can see myself using that. But let's figure out the current things first. I'll probably learn it next stream, I think. So master it. Yeah, nothing to master there. I'm using this a decent bit. Could master that. Here, how about I master this, because I'm using it all the time anyway. I don't know what mastering it's going to do, but let's find out. I don't know what that did. Like, but it's upgraded in some way now. That can be used during a swift strike. Mastery. Oh, I can check it here. Increases shift distance. Okay, yeah, I'm glad I learned that then. Because, yeah, I haven't been able to shift all the way. Battle techniques. Interesting. So I can see all the differences here. Okay. Mastery allows assignment to any icon. To any icon? I got, like, different icons later? Let's assignment to any icon. Increases shockwaves. And, yeah, increases the number of hits with the upgrade. Mastery allows assignment to any icon. I'll find out what that means properly sometime later. So then this one, Mastery extends trigger window. Okay, and I've been struggling with the trigger window, not quite getting the timing. So I'm going to take that. Thank you. And just out of curiosity here, the evade extends trigger window. Okay, so that's another really good one too. Like, I'm starting to get used to the current timing. Like, I'm struggling more with the timing of this, so I think that's not half bad to learn. And I can undo, like, redeeming these at any point, the reset all abilities, which is pretty nice. And out of curiosity here, this is the reduces charge time. Okay, so that'd be pretty good too. Yeah. Okay, interesting. What? Other icons? No. Game definitely not spoiling things there. Alright, yeah. Go ahead and save. Yeah, let's, oh yeah, the little icons there. Little sprites, that's cool. Yeah, it's currently the 29th of September at 3:24 in the morning. So from this, how does it compare to Echoes? They are completely different games, and I don't know if it's really fair to compare them overall. But in terms of, like, my own experience, how much fun I'm having a lot of fun. Genuinely. Like, overall with Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, the strongest part, I just pushed past the chicken. The strongest part was definitely the uniqueness to puzzle solving. I thought that was pretty cool, and some of the most fun I've had with Zelda puzzles in a while. But it was just made so frustrating by the awful menuing of that game. The combat is atrocious because you basically just sit down and watch AI fight for you rather than fighting yourself. You can fight yourself with, like, your limited bar that runs out that's taken away from you before, like, the final dungeon of the game because Link has to get it. So the combat was super boring. And, like, probably the least fun I've had with combat in a Legend of Zelda game. The music was okay, and the graphics were okay. But gameplay, oh my god, like, it was... The story sucked. The gameplay, the only thing it had going for it was, like, the interesting puzzle. Sometimes. After you get past, like, the frustrating menuing to get to, like, the things you actually want. The puzzles were cool, I like that. But it was mostly just kind of, like, a frustrating kind of game that didn't really master any one specific thing, it felt like, and I just didn't really have a whole lot of fun with it. This, I'm genuinely having a lot of fun with this right now, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm liking this. Gonna go hit the hay? Yeah, I'm gonna go hit the hay here in a hot second.
If you're gonna
as
buy
well.
something, be quick about it.
So I have a whole bunch of stuff here now, so that'd be a bigger upgrade. So yeah, I'm glad that I didn't do this one. This is a more substantial upgrade. I don't know if I need that one yet still. I'm just browsing through thingamabobs here. Yeah!
You're rubbing me blind, you know.
Just give me one for now. I'll be picking up more in the field anyway, so it's probably fine. But yeah, so I can get, like, consumables back there. And, like, this would be a pretty decent upgrade, but, like, if there's new stuff here after each level...
Finished, are ya?
I don't know. Early review of Final Fantasy 16 already? Nah, I'll just say that I am having a lot of fun and I'm excited to play more. What kind of stuff can you forge? Okay. So you can make me better versions of what was in the thingamabob there? Or things in my... These things in my inventory already? Or, like, what? I don't get it. And this doesn't take money, it just takes funds. So, do I need to have a longsword in my inventory to get a longsword +1? Or does he just make it straight up? Because, yeah, that's a bigger increase. Like, I could probably still hold off for now. But, yeah, at some point I am going to have to engage in here. He makes it straight up. Oh, wow. So, I don't know why I'd ever buy weapons from the shop here. Assuming I have materials to make something good there. Huh. Interesting. So, I thought that would be, like, forging, as in, like, refining. Like, I take a certain weapon and bring it over to him, and he uses the materials to upgrade it. This is what I would have thought. I know there's lots of games that do that, but I guess not this one. Well, after I bought that one potion, I may as well save again here. That's what I should do. Yeah, there we go. Wonder how many save files I can make. There's both in there. Huh. Interesting. Oh, reforging and crafting. Okay. I needed to read the messages in the right order. Wait. Let me just have a little quick look at the menu. Just gotta press R2. Hold on, let's see here. So, I guess use the forge.
What do you want?
And then... Oh, reinforce. I was hitting R2 like the stick. That's R3. Okay. And then you make it better. Okay. So yeah, that takes a longsword +1. And this takes a longsword. Okay. So in that menu, he makes it straight up. But here, I can bring him a longsword. Is it any cheaper? 171? 242? 1? Okay, so the wearite is what goes into making the sword. Yeah, so the cost changes. So either he can make the sword out of the wearite, or I can buy a sword and bring it to him, and then it takes significantly less. I gotcha. So you have the option. That's actually pretty cool, not gonna lie. You have the option between him just making it straight up, or you bring it to him and then therefore need less materials, but then you need to spend actual money on buying the weapon in the first place. That's pretty cool. I actually like that. Some weapons show up in the shop that are shop exclusive too. Interesting. Well, this was fun here. I saved. I think it's, yeah, I hit this thinger, Bob. Banning embers. I didn't know how to, oh, my controller's running low on battery. I should plug it in. I'm used to just using it wired on my PC. I guess I'll plug it in after this stream. Up until this point, using like my PlayStation here and there on my own time, I've just been holding the power button to turn it off. But apparently that's not the best way to do it, and I knew that there had to be some way to do it from a controller. So I literally just Googled it earlier today. Like, how do I turn off my PlayStation 5 from my controller? And I found out how, so now I know. And yeah, I'm definitely enjoying the music so far. So yeah, right now, I'm enjoying this game so far, and I am excited to play more of it, especially after the last game that I just played start to finish. I really wasn't liking all that much. So yeah, this should be fun here. I hope everyone enjoyed this first stream of Final Fantasy 16. This is probably going to become like my game that I just stream whenever I feel like streaming, is what it's probably going to be here. And I'm probably going to have a lot of fun doing that. So, yeah. Until, wait, why do I have my continue screen? I want my ending screen. There we go. Yeah, save and quit. I hit the wrong button there. So, yeah. Until next time, let's turn off PS5. Preparing to turn off your PS5. Don't unplug the AC power cord when the power indicator is on or your PS5 is blinking. See you later.